Okay. It's like we're just missing JJ and Kathy, or Kelly, and I know Kelly's Effie. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. I'm going to call our executive committee meeting to order at 9:03? Yep.
That's what I have.
9:03 a.m. Sorry, my clock was blocked on here. So, okay. Marcy, would you like to do roll call? Please?
Sure. I'll start with council members. Good morning. Melissa?
Let Melissa Van Hook, Chair. Good morning.
Thank you. Monica?
Here.
Jet?
Here.
Kathy?
Here.
And Jana?
Here.
Thank you. Okay, and then so we're missing just JJ and Kelly, it sounds like. So we'll keep an eye out for them. Okay, staff, John?
I am here.
Thank you. Lonnie?
Good morning, everyone.
Michael?
Good morning, everyone.
And Jason?
Here. I'm here. Morning.
That's it.
Okay, good morning and thank you so much. Okay, let's move on to agenda item B, our minutes, excuse me, from our November 9th, 2023 meeting. Has everybody had an opportunity to review those minutes? I hope.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know why we asked this, because we know we're going to ask for a vote. So it's chair tradition, I guess, from the last three chairs. Are there any changes that need to be made or any comments on those minutes? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to call for a motion to approve the November 9th, 2023 Executive Committee meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
This is Bajette. I make that motion.
Thank you, Bajette. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Monica. All those in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. And anyone not voting? Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Okay, agenda item C, our fiscal contract update with Lani.
Okay, hopefully
Thank
you
you.
guys are able to see the fiscal contract update.
Yes.
Perfect. So the council has fully spent the fiscal year 2021 award amount of $1,535,342. ACL has granted a 1-year no-cost extension for fiscal year 2021 funds. The final report is due at the end of this month. The council has received the full allotment for fiscal year 2022 in the amount of $1,500,930. This is level funding with fiscal year 2021, excluding the Puerto Rico reallotment. ACL has granted a no-cost extension for fiscal year 2022, extending the project period through September 30th of this year. The council has fully obligated these funds and will need to complete the work by this September. There's approximately $58,451 remaining to be liquidated of these funds. The council has received a third allotment for fiscal year 2023 funding in the amount of $398. This brings the current fiscal year 2023 award amount total to $1,501,328. There's approximately $16,639 remaining to be obligated. The obligation and period of performance requirements are both through September 30th of this year as well, with the final report due by September 30th of 2025. And finally, the council has received the second allotment for fiscal year 2024 in the amount of $315,010. This brings the current award amount to $511,294. The obligation and project periods are through September 30th of 2025, and the final report is due September 30th of 2026. Any questions on this sheet? Okay, moving on to our COVID funds. The council received an additional award in the amount of $84,288 for COVID-19 specific projects. ACL granted 1-year no-cost extension for these funds. The work needed to be done, and the funds obligated by September of last year. The final report for these funds is due at the end of the month, so January 2024. The council has spent $83,993 and will be reverting a small amount of $295. The next set of COVID-19 funds is for public health workforce within the disability network. The council has received an additional award in the amount of $95,319 to expand the public health workforce within the disability network. These funds are being tracked and reported on separately. The obligation and project period are through September 30th of 2024. The contract for this project has been awarded and the funds encumbered. The council has received the first invoice in the amount of $52,316, which leaves a balance of $43,003 remaining to be spent. Any questions on these funds? Okay, moving on to the next one, the council funded projects. The sheet shows all the current projects funded by the council. Not much has changed on this sheet from the last meeting. There's no additional contracts or anything like that. We're following up with any outstanding invoices. Any questions on this sheet? Okay, the final sheet. Let me see if I can make this slightly bigger for you guys. So this is the planning and budget recommendation sheet. This sheet reflects the projects outlined in the fiscal year 2024 work plan, as well as the funding that has already been approved in the prior years. For fiscal year 2024 funds, these funds will be used primarily for projects to be decided on in the fiscal year 2025 work plan. Currently, there's an anticipated shortfall of 2024 funds of about $232,328. However, there are several new RFGA projects that have not been budgeted for yet, and this leaves some flexibility if the council does not receive the level funding we have been anticipating. So right now we've got a little over $500,000, but we're anticipating around 1.5. But again, who knows what's going to happen with the budget. They've told us to continue with level funding, but this does allow us some flexibility if we don't get the full award amount. When the work plan committee meets next, we plan to have further discussions on finalizing what will be budgeted with these funds. Any questions on this sheet?
Not for me.
Okay, that's it for me.
Okay, thank you, Lonnie, so much.
No worries.
Marcy, I'm sure you saw it, but JJ joined us. Good morning, JJ.
Morning, everyone. JJ here.
Hello there. Okay,
The 808 number?
No, should be
Is that
5
you? Okay.
This
Yeah,
is
522.
Kelly. I'm at the 808 number.
Oh.
Kelly, I'm at the 808 number. I'm
Good
at
morning,
the airport,
Kelly.
so I'm only on phone. Hi, guys.
Thank you. Okay, got you both. Thank you.
good morning, Kelly. Okay, agenda item D, Executive Director Report with John.
All right. Good morning, everyone. And I apologize. I seem to be having some kind of trouble with my camera. Maybe you can see me.
No,
I can't see myself.
no. Well, I'll go dark then. Okay.
Yeah, maybe that's a good thing. In any case, quick update on our COVID-19 special funding from ACL and CDC. Mentioned in the past that we had a contract with the Sonoran USAID to work with the Regional Center for Border Health in Yuma to do a study of the work that the public health workforce does to serve aging individuals with IDD. I can report that that project has now wrapped up. We are waiting for the final report from the folks at the regional center. And I've had several conversations with them over the last couple of months, very pleased with what they were able to accomplish, and continue to believe that that's going to help the System Access and Navigation Committee and the council as a whole understand the ongoing needs and the emerging needs of the aging population of people with IDD. So we'll have more to report probably after the end of this month. Their report is due on January 31st. But the project has now concluded, and we will now be taking those findings to the System Access and Navigation Committee for further recommendations related to policy and potential council activities. I would also add that the final report for our other special funding, which Lonnie mentioned, the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy project, that was an earlier pot of money. That final report has been submitted to ACL. It was submitted in late December. So that project is completely off our books now. And unless they come back to us and ask for further clarifications, we have fulfilled all our obligations related to that project. I am really pleased to announce that we have identified and offered the communication director position, and the offer has been accepted. Many of you who've been around for more than a few years know Sarah Roof, who was the former communications person for the council. We are bringing her back on board. She interviewed with us last month along with 4 or 5 other candidates. And Sarah was, she was a standout. It was really impressive to get a sense of how, even though she hasn't been working in the DD field for a few years, she's been working primarily in behavioral health. She has really stayed abreast of issues around the IDD community, and she brought some tremendous energy to the interview process and some fantastic ideas about ways that she can support the council's communications function. And so we are really pleased to be bringing Sarah back on board. She'll be starting with us on February 5th. And we will, of course, make that announcement to the full council next Friday at the council meeting.
My favorite person.
That's great to hear, Monica.
Yeah.
What am mine too, Monica?
Yeah.
I'm thrilled.
And I want to make sure that I recognize the council members who took part in the interview process. Melissa, Kathy Lewandowski was involved in the interview with Sarah, and Megan Cox was also involved in interviews with several of the other candidates. So tremendous appreciation to all of you for devoting the time to that. It was fairly time consuming, and at the same time, I think it was really worthwhile. So we really appreciate your willingness to take on that responsibility, and we look forward to what Sarah is going to bring back to the council. I'm going to say what I've probably said, I think, for a year or more regarding council vacancies and the appointments and reappointments that need to be made. We've got no further progress from the Office of Boards and Commissions on getting those vacancies or reappointments made. I did have my latest conversation with Zeta Didolf, who's one of the governor's policy advisors, the policy advisor for health. I talked with her on Monday, not long before the governor's State of the State address, and she assured me that she and her colleague on the Health and Human Service, or on the Human Services side, would reiterate their plea to boards and commissions to help us out. But she also said, we're really not alone in this. We share the boat with just about every other board or commission in the state. Things are really backed up there. So we're still waiting, and I wish I had better news, but it's kind of the way it is. The fiscal year 2023 program performance review report was submitted to ACL on December 27th. We beat the deadline by 3 days, so we feel pretty proud of that. I cannot thank the staff enough for all the work they put into that report. It turned out, I think this year's was 114 or 115 pages long. So there was an awful lot of work put into it, and every member of the staff was just incredible. And so my sincerest thanks to all of them. I feel as though it was a pretty commendable report. We'll find out what ACL thinks in a couple of months when they've had a chance to sort through ours and all the others that came in. But I feel confident. It was very much in line with what we presented to them last year, so I can't foresee any significant problems with it. But obviously, we'll report back to you if they request any additional information. But that is over and done, and that's always the big headache of the last quarter of the calendar year for us. And it's a huge relief to have it out of the way. The last thing I would mention is the Disability Policy Seminar for this year, coming up April 8th through the 10th. If you're not familiar with the Disability Policy Seminar, it is an annual event that is hosted by NACDD, the ARC of the US, AUCD, several other organizations, the national organizations representing key players in the DD field. And it's a 3-day event that takes place in Washington, D.C. 2 days are spent in workshops, breakouts, general sessions, learning more about key issues that are in front of the IDD community or the disability community in general. These days, it offers some time to interact with representatives of federal agencies and congressional offices. And then one of the days is spent actually visiting representatives and senators on Capitol Hill. That's the final day of the event. We do have a couple of, I'll be going, Mike Leva will be going. We do have a couple of openings for council members. If anyone is interested in attending, I will, of course, be sharing this with the council next week. It's going to be a pretty short turnaround for people to make a decision. We're going to have an answer from people by February 1st in order to get all of the travel and everything worked out. But if folks are interested in participating in that, there will be an opportunity for a couple of council members to go. I find it to be really helpful over the years through my time with the ARC and here at the council. It's been a great opportunity to develop some relationships with staff on Capitol Hill and in some cases with our elected officials themselves. And it's great to come back. Even if it's coming back year after year, the issues change from year to year. Some of them stay the same, but many of them change. So it's a great chance to talk with them about these things and impress upon them the importance of supporting both funding and programs that assist people with disabilities. I think some of you have probably attended in the past, and we're grateful for that. This will be the first year I think that anybody from the council has gone since before the pandemic. So I think it's going to be a really important opportunity to get those relationships kind of going again and have that FaceTime with the folks who are making decisions about our work. So I'll leave it at that. I'm happy to answer any questions. All right, thanks very much.
Okay, thank you, John. Moving on to agenda item E, our behavioral health and crisis response survey. Oh, Jana has a question. What are the dates again, John?
It'll be April 8th through the 10th, Monday through Wednesday.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Excuse me, our behavioral health and crisis response survey. So I may ask John and Jason to jump in on this because they've done every bit as much of this as I have, if not more, a little bit. So as you're aware, we've got a committee that involves John and I and Jason, and then other people out in the community that are kind of experts and advocates in behavioral health in crisis. We've had that, oh my gosh, now 2 years now, guys? Are we going into year 2? Something like that. But anyways, as you know, we developed a survey with Noble Predictive Insights and spent quite a bit of time on that survey developing it, and then rolled it out and had a lot of feedback from our committee members. They weren't happy with some things on the survey. So John and Jason and I went back to Noble Predictive Insights, made some changes in that, a little bit around demographics questions, a little bit on, if they could go back, if they could hit previous in the survey, just some of the ways that it operated, and we'll see what happens. The rollout timing wasn't great. It happened ahead of the end of the second week, towards I think around the 17th of December was when we actually started sending those out. So I don't know that we've had a ton of responses. I'll ask Jason in a second what the number is up to now, but I know that 72 or 74 or something like that was the last time. Jason, do you know what those numbers are?
So the number, that's the number I got since the last update I did. So that's the number they gave me. They're supposed to give me a update today as well, which hasn't came through yet.
Okay.
So,
okay. Well, and I know we sent it out to some additional people. I keep getting sent things from access that they want the council to share, which I then pass on to John and Jason. And I asked Jason, I said, hey, can you see if they'll share this? And I noticed, Jason, that you did send that out, and they said that they would share it with OIFA and the rest of whoever else they send it out to. I can't remember who. So, we'll see what happens. We'll need to look at those survey results when they come in. That should all be wrapped up by the end of January, into this month. And we're going to want to see what the data says, and then really have a plan on what we want to do with that data, how we want to share it. So John and Jason, do you have any comments? Anything to add?
I'm good. You did a great job, so I'm good.
Thanks, Jason. Thank you.
I agree.
Okay. All right. Jana is asking for Jason a link to the survey so they can post it too. I thought we sent it to RSK, but maybe not.
We did, but yeah. All right, I'll send it. Yeah, I'll send it again. No problem.
We may we may already have it posted, so I'll double check. But yeah, if you could resend it to me, Jason, if it's not too much trouble, so we can make sure.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you. Okay, well, appreciate that. So we'll see what happens with that. It's definitely a work in progress. There have been a number of other surveys that have gone out. Access doing their own survey, I do believe, and we'll see what happens, because we know there's a problem. Okay. Moving on to agenda item F, our full council meeting agenda. I don't know if we're able to throw that up on the screen. If not, it was in the attached documents for this meeting. Are we able to put that up?
Sorry, yeah, just 1 second.
Oh, okay. Sorry, John. Thanks.
It's all good.
I will note that council meeting is going to be extended by 30 minutes. I don't know that anybody caught that, because we do have 3 presentations that day, all of which are pretty darn important. So we're hoping that people are able to stay on for that. I know it's an extra long meeting. Thank you, John. Okay, so all the usual stuff. And then if you can scroll down a little bit, please. Thank you. So our 3 presentations, we are going to have JJ Yeh will be presenting on the community partner presentation on group home monitoring, the pilot project, which I'm really, really interested to hear how that's going and what you guys are finding out as you go. And next up, we have 2 of our grantees that will be presenting. The first one, and both of those are out of the Meaningful Careers Committee, the Center for the Future of Arizona, our Communities at the Center project. Also, Mike and I have kind of called that Raising Expectations for a while, but that's the official title, Communities at the Center. So Christy Tate and Evelyn Kasuga from CFA are doing that. And then Gene Windsor will be presenting from the University of Massachusetts, Boston, ICI, the analysis of vocational rehabilitation services for transition age youth with IDD. That is the BR study. So it'll be a great meeting, mostly informational and listening. So hopefully you guys can make it and stay for those presentations. So that's it. Yep, JJ, go right ahead, JJ.
Quick question. So our manager, Gail Lanham, and our coordinator, Kim Dorshaw, will probably do the majority. And for open meeting law, should we list their names as presenters as well?
Yeah, if you can forward those names to me. Kim, I know. The other person I don't, but if you can forward their names and titles, that would be helpful. And I should also point out that Christy Tate will not be presented for Center for the Future of Arizona. Evelyn and Mike is going to have to tell me who the other, Ian Dowdy, is that correct,
Ian
Mike?
Dowdy.
Okay.
That's correct, John.
Right. So Evelyn Kasuga and Ian Dowdy from Center for the Future of Arizona. But I think Gene and Oliver will in fact be the ones for ICI.
Okay, if we're able to just make those corrections to the agenda, that would be great. Okay, any questions on this agenda? All right, we're going to keep this meeting short and sweet today. Okay, so moving on to agenda item G, are there any announcements? Okay,
JJ has his hand up. I don't
Oh.
know.
he does.
I think I'd never let it down, but while I have the floor, we are Disability Rights Arizona now after the new year. So using that as much as new year, new name.
Yay.
Okay. So I will change that name on the agenda as well, if you're okay with that, JJ. So it says Disability Rights Arizona.
Yeah, and we take off president. I haven't heard that title yet. Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Okay. All right. I know I'll have to remember that one. Disability Rights Arizona. Okay. Any other announcements?
I'm sorry. One last thing from the council side, just to let everybody know, next Monday is a holiday for us, so the office will be closed on Monday. If you need anything,
What?
just be aware of that.
Okay. Thank you. Enjoy the long weekend. Okay. Agenda item H, calls to the public. I do not note any public members on here. So we will move on to agenda item I, and that's to adjourn. Everybody, thanks for your time. We kept it under 30 minutes. Have a great weekend.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.